It's the bullshit that gets views. It's the bullshit news. Da da da. Here's your host, the news guy.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. Back by popular demand or unpopular demand, it's the shit we call news. I am, of course, the news reporter, and we are back with the shit we call news. In this week's edition, we've got 5 different categories of news stories. We've got the return of the entertainment report, the social media report, the food report, and the lifestyle report. And making its debut in this episode, we've got the outrage report with our outrage reporter, because some stories are just based out of pure outrage. We've got a lot of stories to cover this week, so we'll cross straight over to the entertainment reporter for the entertainment report.
Hello, and welcome to the Entertainment Report. On this week's edition of the Entertainer Report, Kim Kardashian hosted a private screening of her first animated flick of the Paw Patrol movie at a Los Angeles cinema, and the kids apparently acted wild. In other words, they were being normal kids. But during the screening, Kim filmed as her character popped up on screen. So obviously, Paw Patrol doesn't have a very good non-disclosure agreement since the film's not out for another week. In other news, fans are not very happy with Sarah Jessica Parker. Why? Because apparently a dress that she was wearing was purchased off the rack from Forever 21. The dress in question is this. Now, I don't see much of an issue with the dress, nor do most people, I'd presume. So, yeah, we don't really understand what's wrong with her, fans. So, this wraps up the Entertainer Report for another week. Back to you in the studio, Mr. News Guy.
We thank our entertainment reporter for that lovely kind of dose of entertainment for what's going on for the week. Nice to know even though their show's wrapped up, the Kardashians are still newsworthy. Kind of. Even when, in some cases, they weren't really newsworthy at all. Anyway, on to our next category, which is, of course, the social media reports. Yes, fashion-wise, it's more better than it was last week. So, hopefully there is no costume or wardrobe-related insults from our reporter. So, I shall cross over to the social media reporter for the social media report.
Hello and welcome to the social media report. Before I start, I guess I should apologize to the news guy for the insult that I gave him last week. It was so out of line and all that. It's not something I normally do, so yeah, I'm very, very sorry that it happened. So, yeah, off we go to the social media report. First up, we got a teen influencer who lost 2 million followers after her mother deleted her TikTok and Instagram because she thought it was a bad influence for her daughter. How dare she delete her TikTok and Instagram whilst her mother keeps her accounts? That's just not fair. It's a diplomatic way for all teenagers to have a social media account. So that's just being bossy. How dare she? In other news, a 30-year-old has revealed that when she was 15, she gave birth to twins after her first time. Obviously, someone didn't pay attention in sex ed. Anyway, I've had enough for this week. Back to the Mr. News Guy.
We thank our social media reporter for that lovely insight on what's going on in the world of social media. And on a personal note, I appreciate the apology and I do accept it. Just please no more wardrobe related gaffes, please. Anyway, now that we've got the social media report out of the way, let's move on to the food report. Of course, last week, the reporter was in the middle of eating tacos when he sent through the stories. Wonder what type of food he's in the middle of eating of this time. Over to you, food reporter, for the food report.
Hi, welcome to the food report. In this week's report, a man has been stunned over a mate's ridiculous request after eating a few fries. A man has been described as petty after asking for his mate to pay for these few chips that were off his plate when they were out for dinner. The estimated cost was 47 cents. I'm pretty sure if my friends had the same thing, and I did the same thing to them and charging them from stealing my food, I'll be bloody rich. In other news, a shopper has shared a Woolworth stuff up. What was this stuff up? She got double of everything on her online order. Well, if this lady needs help, I'm more than willing to help her eat what's left. And I'm sure she won't need to shop for a while. Anyway, whilst I go to my hamburgers, I'll pass over to the news guy.
We thank our food reporter for both a lovely insight into the world of food and also probably a good idea for dinner. Maybe I might have hamburgers for dinner tonight. Who knows? Anyway, on to the next lot, which is, of course. Oh. I see. We were going to push this story for last, but he just cannot hold his outrage back any longer. On to the outrage reporter for the outrage report.
Hello, you should already know who I am. I'm so outraged if you already don't. Well, here's the outrage report. Firstly, the word curry isn't apparently racist due to a food blogger for using a British term for the South Asian food. She says it's time for it to fall out because of the Western origin. Also, shoppers are absolutely angry over an insensitive detail on a Woolworth sign, which is that sticker that says that Black Lives Matter. This was, of course, in a spin-off to the Black Lives Matter movement. I'm so outraged. Why is it there? I don't really care.
Wow. That was certainly something. We suppose we thank our outrage report for his dose of outrage. Hopefully he's not back anytime soon. On to what was originally supposed to be next, but will once again end up being our last story category for this week. It's, of course, lifestyle. So last week we were focusing on, of course, having cleaning shoes with detergent and a couple of other things. Let's see what our lifestyle reporters uncovered this week.
What's up? I'm the lifestyle guy. On this week's lifestyle report, an Aussie resident's genius wheelie bin hack has gone viral. What is this hack? That's if you put two plastic 1.25 litre bottles of water and tie them with cable ties, it will stop people going into your bin. In other news, a woman claims that we have been cleaning toilets wrong the whole time. She suggests that you pour a bucket of water into the bowl before adding the toilet cleaner around it. Yeah, I'm a bit confused too. So I'll pass back over to the news guy to wrap the show up.
We thank our lifestyle reporter for showing us on how we're supposed to live our lives for another week. Now, before we wrap this show up for another week, I have my own dose of bullshit news. I've just found out that this pen I've been holding the whole time has a torch. Da 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 da. So there you go. Even news reporters can find a bunch of bullshit. That's not even covered in news stories. Anyway, this wraps up the bullshit news for another week. We'll probably end up back next week, as long as the views end up as where they were. But if the views drop off, then I might stop it, because this is just for fun, as I said. It's not to be taken seriously in any way. So, we may see you next week, we may not, but until next time, enjoy your bullshittery.